Welcome to our podcast,
Real Marriage
Real Talk
with
Mr. and Mrs. Eagleton.
This is our podcast about dating. Really, it's more about marriage and relationships, but we'll talk about some dating stuff too. All things marriage and relationships from people who've been married 26 years. Yeah. Most of it successful, most of it happy.
Right, the vast majority.
So we'll talk about today kind of how we met, because people on social media, on Instagram, TikTok have been asking how we met. So we'll share that. I'll start. I saw her.
Stalked me.
Do what?
Stalked me?
No, I didn't stalk. I did see her. I can tell you what she had on the first time I saw her. We worked in the same building, and I went into the deli on the first floor of the building, and she was seated at a table. No, she was in line first. She had on a lavender colored pantsuit and a scarf, and she looked good. She caught my eye, and I probably sat in the line longer than I should have. She got her food, and then she sat down at the table. I liked the way she looked, all of it. I thought she was pretty. I thought she was fine. And I just filed it away in my head. And then, I don't know, a few weeks later, I have no idea from the time I first saw you to when we actually met, how long it was. But I think I kept an eye out trying to find you or see you again, and I didn't. Until one day I came into work, and the security guard at the front desk, who checked IDs and let people in the building or whatever, told me as I came in, she said, somebody wants to meet you. A young lady that works in the building wants to meet you. And she described the young lady to me, and I said, that's fine. I don't mind giving her my number, but there is somebody else I really want to meet, and I think she works in. And I pointed to the office where I thought you worked, which I guess I was right. And she said, "Oh, that's Tavari. Hold on one second. I'm going to go get her for you." And I said, "No, don't." I didn't. Not to be mean, but that was not somebody I really wanted as my ambassador.
Right.
So I don't know. She walked away too quick for me to stop her.
Right.
And so then I had a choice. While she was going to get Tavari, I could either scurry away like a little kid, or I could stay there and meet her. So given those two choices,
yeah,
I wasn't running away like I was embarrassed. I just didn't want that person to be my ambassador.
Exactly. So she came, two things. I only came to that office like once a week, maybe twice a week, and only for a brief period of time. My actual office was on site at one of our like larger accounts because I managed that account, but I would go to this office to like do payroll and things like that for our staff. And she came in, I was at the computer doing some things for payroll, and she was like, "Hey, Tavari, are you busy?" And I was like, I'm doing a couple of things, like what's going on? And she said, "I have somebody I want you to meet." And I was like, "No, you don't. Whoever you're trying to do is not going to be." So
Because she's snooty, I guess.
I'm not snooty. Whatever.
I don't know. I'm
so
just saying. I
grabbed my business card. I put on my professional stance, voice, all the things, and I walked out because I thought, I'm going to give him my card. My number is on here to my desk, and like my phone for my desk had a voicemail button on it and caller ID. So anyone I didn't want to talk to, I could just hit the voicemail button to send them there. So I went out to go and meet him. And when I saw him, I thought he was handsome. And your first words were, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't ask her to come and get
you. But I remember what you had on that day. Do you remember?
No.
You had on that yellow pantsuit. Hmm?
I don't remember.
And I had on some khakis.
You did have on khakis and a button down.
And a cream-colored shirt.
Yeah, a button down.
Yeah. So she gave me her card. I went up. Her office is on the first floor. My office is on the 8th floor in the same building. I went upstairs and got a business card and came back down and left it at the receptionist at her office. And I went back to my office. And my plan was to call her in 3 days because that was the way I did it back then. I get a number, you let them wait, you call them in 3 days.
Let them wait. Okay, no
let
problem.
them. I'm just telling you what it was.
No,
you let them wait. You let them wait. And you call them in 3 days.
This was 1997, so this was like way before what technology is now to be able to communicate. But our receptionist gave me the business card, and it was like Kwame Eagleton, senior consultant. And I was like, oh, so he's handsome, he's dressed professionally, and he's gainfully employed. So this is great. So
she didn't realize I just had those cards made up. I wasn't really working at that company.
I know, I was very naive at the time. So when I got back to my office, I was going to be leaving shortly. And I called him and I was like, hey, I'm going to be leaving, but here's my number if you want to give me a call later. My home number if you want to give me a call later. You can go ahead and lie.
I know, I'm just saying. She didn't want to miss my call.
Oh, my gosh.
So she gave me all her numbers, all the other numbers. Didn't you give me your mom's number?
No, my mom didn't have a cell phone. It was
She gave me your house number, your home number, your cell number.
She lived in the house. We lived in the house
cell
together.
number.
I didn't have a cell phone.
And your office number.
That was on my business
card. And your pager number. I had all the numbers. She did not want to miss that call.
Oh, my gosh. Sure.
So since she subtly asked me to call her by giving me all the numbers, I did call her that night. I called at 9. We got on the phone at probably 9 o'clock. And we stayed on the phone until probably 1 or 1:30 in the morning.
Yeah, it was like 1 in the morning.
So it was a very long conversation. We talked about a lot of stuff. Yeah. And I think my first impression was that she was easy to talk to. We hadn't gone out. And I guess that's different today. So a lot of people do a lot of communicating either online or over the phone, text more than actual conversations.
Right.
But she was easy to talk to. She had a good sense of humor. She laughed. It was an easy conversation.
Very easy.
So it was very easy that, we didn't realize we were on the phone for 4 hours or 4.5 hours or whatever. Yeah. We decided to go to lunch the next day. And Chili's was not far. I guess at this day and time, you couldn't go to Chili's for a first date. You'd be called a bum or broke or whatever. I don't know.
Not a high value man.
Yeah. But we went to Chili's. And I'll tell you this, the very first lunch date we went to, she paid. I guess she was trying to send a message that
100%, because after having dated some, I recognize that there are some men that feel like anything they do for you, you owe them something in return. And buying me a meal does not make me indebted to you.
Even at Chili's?
Even at Chili's. So when she came out, and I needed to send a clear message, like, I don't need you to feed me. I can feed myself.
The Southwest egg rolls wasn't going to do it for you.
Not at that time. Maybe later. Maybe now. But it was, I don't need you to buy me a meal. I can buy my own meal, and I can also buy your meal. So I'm not indebted to you.
Yeah. So she paid for the first meal, which I was fine with. I wasn't insulted. It didn't bother me. It was no big deal. But that was the first date. It really was a mid-level kind of family-friendly place. Yeah. It wasn't expensive. It wasn't fancy. First date. I had margarita grilled chicken. I know that for a fact. And after that, we talked. We only had an hour for lunch. So we ate lunch. We came back to work. Did we go out that night? Did we go to the gym that day, the evening?
I think it was the next day.
The next day, we went to Chili's again for lunch. So our first 3 dates, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Chili's for lunch.
Chili's for lunch.
I will say this, though. At the time, he was very, very into fitness. So the margarita grilled chicken kind of hit his protein goal, like whatever his goals were for eating well. and exercising. So that was
Right.
kind of why we were doing
And at
that.
one of those days, one of the first 3 days, we decided. I asked her to go to the gym with me.
It was the next day. It was the next day
Right.
after the first
I
day.
asked her to go to
Yes.
the gym with me. She wasn't
Right.
really excited about it, but
I was not. Yeah. Still not excited.
she's still not excited about it.
I'm trying to work on that.
28 years later, she's still not excited about joining me in the gym. And we have our own gym in the basement.
I know.
And she still won't.
I'm going to do better.
Join
Starting
me
today.
in the
I'm
gym.
going to work out when we get home. Seriously. Yeah, I'm going to do it.
I don't believe it.
It may not be a hard workout, but I'm going to do something when
Yeah.
I get home.
Right. So what we do? Did we go somewhere Friday night? So we went to Galveston. So we went to Galveston. We lived in Texas at the time. We lived in Houston.
Yeah, I'm
Or
from
the Houston area.
Yeah.
And we decided to drive to Galveston and walk along the beach. And so we drove. We talked all the way. Actually, when I showed up at your house to pick you up, who was there? Somebody was there.
Oh, I was
somebody
a hustler
getting-
then.
she was-
I was
yeah,
doing
she
hair.
was-
So I
Tawari
had
was
a
a hustler.
full-time job, and I did hair like through high school and would still do hair as like a whole side hustle. Yeah.
So I walked in her house, and there were people there. She was doing somebody's hair.
Yeah. I was finishing up.
She was finishing up.
Yeah.
So I was like, I walked in. I've never been to her house. I walk in. She's doing somebody's hair because she's hustling. Don't call the state board and let them know because
I know,
she
right?
didn't have a license.
Why are you putting my business out
just
in the
saying.
street?
So I walk in. I'm like, this is like a beauty shop, and she's.
It was. I was very good.
So she went and washed the gel off her hands, and
First
we
of
got
all-
in the car to go.
I can't stand you. Welcome to my bump and curl. Yeah.
But yeah, it was Tavari's bump and curl. But we drove out to Galveston. Did we go to dinner?
No.
We just drove out to Galveston
drove
and
out to
walked along the beach.
Mm-hmm. Talk.
Yeah, and talked. She made sure she kissed me on that date, though. We were driving in the car. She took her seatbelt off. She turned around in the seat. She put her knees in the seat and then leaned over and kissed me on the cheek.
I kissed
Not
his cheek.
the way your grandmother kisses your cheek, though.
I kissed him on the cheek.
There was tongue involved. Her tongue.
Was not tongue involved.
There was.
I just kissed your cheek.
No. That was the most sensual cheek kiss I have ever had.
Obviously, you're still talking
Yeah,
about
I'm
it
just-
28
I'm just
years
saying.
later.
You were
That was a
deliberate about
mighty
all of it. It was.
powerful
You
cheek
undid your
kiss.
seatbelt and turned around and then planted one right there.
Yeah.
It was the most sensual cheek kiss I've ever, probably in the history of mankind.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're welcome.
But that was the first date, and then, well, it was the fourth date, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd been a dinner 3 days.
Yep.
What was apparent to me initially was how hard she worked. She was 21, I think, when we met.
Mm-hmm. And you had a hard time believing it too, because you
Yeah,
were.
she was very mature
25?
for 21. I was 25.
Yeah.
She was very mature for 21. And I'd kind of been hesitant about dating anybody that young. I just thought they were immature and it was going to be challenging. But she was very mature and very old for her age. At the time, she had a boyfriend.
And you had a girlfriend.
And I had a girlfriend. Different story. I guess, I don't know if we should go into that or
We'll
not.
elaborate on that later. But yeah.
She had a boyfriend who was stalking her.
Okay.
He was really stalking you.
Okay.
So that's not the first week. That's later on. We'll get to that later on.
So let's just back up. Because this is what was happening with me before I met you. I did not grow up in church. I did not. We probably went to church only on Easter or something like that. So I didn't grow up with, a family that was taking me to church regularly. My mother was a single mother. She had me as a teenager. So a lot of our lives are just like working in survival. She's very hardworking. She taught me to be hardworking, which is why I hustled all the time. But throughout like my teens, I would say mid to late teens, I used to always want to go to church. So I would ask people if I could go to church with them, if they would pick me up to take me to church with them. Well, I didn't really understand a lot about like living holy in those things. I just wanted to go to church. I felt like if I can go to church, like things will be okay. And in that, by the time I met you, I had a different relationship spiritual relationship, and I just saw things differently. I was in a different kind of church where we were really like in the Word, learning. I was going to the church's Bible colleges kind of thing, and just having like a greater spiritual awareness. And in that time, I started praying about the kind of man I wanted, that I wanted to be with, I wanted to marry. And I wanted things.
So you're saying I was an answer to your prayers. That's what I'm hearing. That's okay. It's fine. That's fine. Just say thank you, Lord.
Thank you, Lord.
Go ahead.
So the things that I wanted, I would say, God, I want to marry someone who loves you more than they'll ever love me, because you will teach them how to treat me. And I would think about things at any time. I could be driving and I'd say, like, and oh God, I want him to open doors. I want him to be a gentleman. Oh Lord, I want him to not try to get in my pants. I want him, to have integrity. And, all of these things to me that were true characteristics of the kind of person I wanted to have and live my life and build a life with. I wasn't concerned about his height. I never prayed about how tall you were going to be. I never prayed about him making six figures, or he has to make half, like any of the things that we see a lot of times this year, in this day and age, about what people are looking for. I wanted things that were like things you can build on. And in our first conversation, when we first met and you called me that night, you asked me about my spirituality. Like, you asked me about those things. And you let me know, like, you weren't trying to have sex at the time, and you were very involved in church. And it was literally like, so if you're not matching this, we can stop this conversation right now.
Right.
And it was eerie to me, because when he was going through, like, who he is, I literally was like, okay, this is weird. He's saying a lot of things that I have been praying about. So that...
But I've been trying to get in your pants ever since?
No, you did not do that.
I said ever since.
Ever since.
Ever since we got married, I've been trying to...
Yes, exactly. Yeah, okay. But anyway,
I'm just saying.
What's wrong with you?
I'm just saying.
But... So, like, our date, like going to Chili's for a date, going to the beach and just walking the beach, like those things, they didn't, it wasn't like I needed to go to a 5-star restaurant. I didn't, you know what I mean? That those things didn't matter.
Well, it's interesting now because we haven't dated in 28 years. I mean, we dated each other.
Right, we haven't dated
other
in the
people.
dating world. Right.
We haven't been in the dating world in 28 years.
Yeah.
So it's changed a lot.
Yes.
I mean, we because of the kind of things we want to do, we consume a lot of relationship content, or content about relationships or dating.
Mm-hmm.
And it is interesting that people probably do a lot of their interaction or communication digitally. So they text back and forth. They may have a lot of interactions digitally before they actually meet in person.
Right.
So I think people lose a lot of their social skills, their ability to have a conversation with someone of the opposite sex that they're potentially romantically interested in.
For sure.
How do I hold a conversation?
Right.
How do I ask you questions about yourself? How do I, and the tendency is if I don't know it, I just talk about myself.
Yes.
That doesn't really lend itself to knowing or learning about you.
Right.
So there's a lot of social skills that people probably don't have now because of how things are. I think the pendulum is probably swinging some the other way, and people are realizing, I'm going to go join a running club, and I can have interactions with people face to face and talk to them, laugh with them, joke with them. But we lose a lot. We lose our sense of humor. We lose our ability to judge somebody else's sense of humor. It's just very, very different.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's challenging for people trying to date now.
For sure.
But we spent a lot of time talking because that was, 1997. Yeah, 97, 98. Mm-hmm. So we talked a lot. Our first year of dating, maybe we shouldn't get that far. We had our first dates. I remember when I think I met your mom that Friday when I came in.
Mm-hmm.
What was her impression of me? Did you say he's an ass?
Not in so many words, but yeah, that was definitely the impression. Yeah.
That was the impression.
I'm sure.
So what did she say?
She thought you were arrogant.
Oh, because of what? What did I do that day when I came in?
I don't know that it's anything you did in particular. I think your goal, like you didn't feel like you needed to impress my mother. You just like, I met you. I'm interested in your daughter. And she had asked something about like, where were we going or something like that. Because my mom would communicate with me quite a bit. But I don't know. But you even like yourself will admit that you were pretty arrogant back in the day. What is that look?
I don't know if I was really arrogant.
I didn't say really.
I just wanted to know what your mom thought from that first time, because I wasn't at your house maybe 30 minutes before we left.
It was really quick. It was quick. Yeah,
But from that initial meeting, she thought I was.
Okay, I'll take that back. I don't really know what she thought from the initial meeting because it was so quick.
Okay.
And she didn't tell me her impression, but as we were dating, I could tell she was like, "Oh, like he thinks." But why don't you describe your personality to our viewers at that time?
Sweet and nice and lovely. Thanks for listening to our podcast. Check out the next episodes where we continue our conversation.
You can also follow us on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube at Mr. and Mrs. Eagleton.